The elevator doors slid open with a soft chime, revealing a tall, confident woman in a tailored navy suit. Every step she took echoed through the marble lobby. Heads turned. Whispers followed. That was Victoria Hale, CEO of Hale Tech Industries, one of the city's fastest-growing tech firms, brilliant, powerful, and, as many whispered, ruthless. But that morning, her high heels clicked to a stop when she nearly collided with a man holding a mop. He quickly stepped back. "Sorry, ma'am," the man said quietly, eyes downcast. Victoria frowned. "Watch where you're going," she said sharply, brushing invisible dust off her suit. The man nodded. "Of course, ma'am." As she strode away, she heard one of her interns snicker, "Just the janitor." Victoria smirked. Exactly. That janitor's name was Daniel Brooks, a 38-year-old single dad who worked 2 jobs to raise his 8-year-old daughter, Lily. Every night, after finishing his shift at Hale Tech, he'd pick Lily up from his sister's place, help her with homework, and read bedtime stories before passing out himself. Life was hard, but he never complained. He'd once been an engineer until the company he worked for downsized and he was laid off. The savings ran out fast. His wife had passed away years ago, leaving him to raise Lily alone. So, he took what he could find and ended up mopping floors in the same kind of office where he used to design systems. Still, every time he walked past the glass-walled conference room filled with executives, he whispered to himself, "Someday, I'll get back there." Not for me, for her. One evening, Daniel overheard Victoria talking to her CFO in the hallway. "We're selling off a small division," she said. "It's not profitable. Some startup offered to buy it. Let's just take the deal and move on." Daniel paused. He knew that division well. It was the company's original product line, old but full of potential. He'd studied its blueprints once, while fixing a light fixture. That night, he stayed late. After everyone left, he took out his notebook and began sketching an idea, a way to modernize that outdated tech into something revolutionary. It was risky. But he believed in it. Months passed. The division was sold, rebranded, and forgotten. Victoria moved on to bigger projects and bigger profits. But Daniel didn't forget. With a small inheritance from his late father and a loan from a friend, he invested every cent he had into his idea. He named his company Lumicore Technologies, inspired by his daughter, whose nickname was Lumi, short for luminosity. Daniel worked tirelessly, coding in his kitchen, taking client calls during lunch breaks, and using every skill he had left. And then, a breakthrough. His redesigned tech not only worked, it thrived. Within 2 years, Lumicore became a leader in sustainable energy solutions. Investors poured in. The company expanded rapidly. And one morning, Victoria Hale received an offer on her desk to acquire Hale Tech Industries from Lumicore Technologies for full ownership. When the news broke, she was stunned. "Who the hell is this Lumicore?" she demanded. Her assistant hesitated. "It's led by Daniel Brooks." "Daniel, who?" "The janitor," the assistant whispered. Victoria laughed, but her voice shook. "You're joking." She wasn't. 2 days later, the boardroom that had once felt like Victoria's throne room was silent as Daniel walked in, wearing a clean navy suit, not flashy, but confident. Victoria forced a smile. "So, you're serious about this?" Daniel nodded. "Completely. You think you can run a company like this?" "You're just a," she caught herself. "Just a janitor," he finished for her, smiling softly. "Maybe. But I was also an engineer. A father. And someone who saw value where others saw nothing." The room was silent. Even the board members exchanged glances. Daniel turned toward them. "When you look down on people, you miss potential. Hale Tech once had it, but it lost its soul. I plan to bring it back." Victoria looked at him, speechless, as the vote concluded. Hale Tech, her empire, now belonged to the man she'd once dismissed. Weeks later, Daniel visited the old office again, this time as CEO. He stopped by the janitor's closet, the same one he'd worked out of for years. On the wall, he hung a small framed quote that read, "Greatness often starts with humility." He smiled as Lily ran down the hall, jumping into his arms. "Daddy, you did it!" He kissed her forehead. "We did it, sweetheart." A few months later, Hailtech, now rebranded as LumiTech, became one of the city's most admired companies for its ethics and employee programs. Daniel made sure janitors had scholarships for their children, flexible hours for single parents, and equal opportunities for all. When asked why, he simply said, "Because no one should ever feel invisible." One afternoon, Victoria came by, dressed simply, looking tired. "I came to say congratulations," she said quietly. Daniel smiled. "Thank you. You doing okay?" She hesitated. "I guess I forgot what mattered. Power, pride, it blinded me." Daniel nodded. "We all forget sometimes. What matters is remembering before it's too late." He offered her a job, not as a CEO, but as a mentor in a new leadership program he was launching to teach young professionals about compassion in business. She blinked, surprised. "After everything I said to you?" He shrugged. "Everyone deserves a second chance." For the first time, her confident mask cracked and she smiled genuinely. "Thank you, Daniel." As Daniel watched her walk away, Lily tugged his sleeve. "Daddy, why did you help her?" He knelt beside her. "Because, sweetheart, the world doesn't need more bosses, it needs more people who care." Moral: success isn't about titles or wealth, it's about kindness, humility, and the courage to rise without stepping on others. Because sometimes, the janitor you overlook today might just build the future you'll work for tomorrow.